Hello, my fellow minor league nerds, and welcome to our newest Minor League Nerd Shorts episode about the Paris Parisians. Actually, this episode is a doubleheader of sorts, as there were two teams that played under that name. The first Parisians team played in Paris, Illinois, and were members of the Class D Eastern Illinois League, which only lasted 2 seasons. They actually began as an independent team named the Paris Colts in 1904. They took on all comers, no matter the color of their skin, playing and defeating the Leland Giants, a precursor of the Chicago American Giants, early in 1907. A few weeks into the 1907 Eastern Illinois League season, L.A.G. Schoaf, owner of the Colts, purchased the 6-27 Centralia White Stockings. Instead of continuing as the White Stockings in Centralia, the Colts joined the league as a new entrant, bringing in their own players. They were actually invited to join the Kentucky, Illinois, Tennessee, or Kitty League, before the season began, turning it down, choosing to remain independent. They played their first game in the league on June 20th at Athletic Park in Mattoon, Illinois, losing 3-1 to the Giants. 4 of the Colts' first 7 games in the league went to extra innings. The Colts played better than the White Stockings, going 45-40, finishing with a combined record of 51-67, 23 games behind the pennant-winning Mattoon Giants. According to modern sources such as Wikipedia, Stats Crew, and Baseball Reference, the Colts became the Paris Parisians for the 1908 season. But according to newspapers of the time, they retained the Colts name. Whatever they were called that season, their owner was elected president and secretary of the now 8-team league as teams from Danville and Vincennes joined. The Journal Gazette of Mattoon, Illinois described the Paris Club as one of the most popular teams in the league. In June of that season, they played an 18-inning game against the Danville Speakers that ended in a tie. Things started going south for the Eastern Illinois League at the end of July when Charleston and the defending champion Mattoon Giants both disbanded. A few weeks earlier, Danville had relocated to Staunton, and Pana had relocated to Linton, Indiana. By the middle of August, the league was in a dire situation. Shelbyville withdrew from the league on August 17th, reducing it to 5 teams, meaning another team would need to withdraw, allowing the league to continue on with 4 teams. It looked as if Paris was the team to leave. If they chose to remain, though, they were going to be pressured to relocate to Danville in order to potentially draw more fans, as Danville had almost 3 times the population of Paris at the time. Linton, Vincennes, and Staunton were all willing to carry on in a reformed 4-team league. Taylorville, though, chose to withdraw, deciding to carry on as an independent. In the end, though, it didn't matter, as the league completely disbanded on August 20th, with Staunton in first place. Paris, Illinois would see the return of professional baseball in 1950 when the Paris Lakers joined the Mississippi-Ohio Valley League. In 1956, that league changed its name to the one we all know today, the Midwest League, with the Lakers winning the first league championship that season by defeating the Dubuque Packers 3-1. The Lakers would play for the next 3 seasons, folding following the 1959 season. Part 2 of our twin bill takes us to Paris, Tennessee, and the previously mentioned Kitty League. The league, which had existed in 3 previous incarnations, returned in 1922 as a Class D league, playing for the first time since 1916, with Paris being one of the 8 towns represented. The team played at Barton Field and were known as the Paris Travelers in that first season, being managed by Tuffy Fulks, in his first season leading any team. The Travelers defeated the Fulton Railroaders 10-0 in their inaugural game on May 16th. The season was played under a split format, with the Travelers finishing the first half 25-27 and the second half 33-25, ending with an overall record of 58-52. The Mayfield Paintmakers won the first half title, with the Madisonville Miners winning the second half, so the championship series looked to be set. But, as it turned out, that wasn't the case. It was discovered that Madisonville had used some ineligible players for their class and went over the monthly salary limit of $1,800, so the Miners were disqualified from the title. The Hopkinsville Hoppers, who finished in second place in the overall standings and fourth in the second half, were also disqualified for the exact same reason. The Cairo Egyptians finished in second place in the second half, but were said to have unduly influenced umpires, and therefore it was recommended by the team presidents that they also be disqualified, with the group suggesting to the league president that either Paris or the Trenton Reds be awarded the second half title. League President Dr. Frank H. Bassett threw out all the questionable games by the 3 clubs in question, which then shifted the standings to Paris's favor, seeing them finish 1 game up on the Reds. After all the drama was finally settled, the Mayfield Paintmakers went on to win the championship series 4-2, with Mayfield taking games 1, 3, 5, and 6, winning the last 2 games 10-2 and 10-5. For the 1923 season, the team was renamed the Paris Parisians, with Tuffy Fulks returning as manager. It wouldn't be as successful as they finished in 7th place with an 18-31 record in the first half, doing better in the second half, finishing in 2nd place with a 28-24 record. The highlight of the Parisian season came on July 19th when Jim Turner threw a no-hitter against the Milan Trenton Twins at Barton Field. The Parisians won the game 10-0. Once again, there was a dispute over who actually won each half, as the Fulton Railroaders and the Parisians each claimed the first and second half titles, going as far as to plan a championship series between themselves. Ultimately, though, that planned series fell apart after Fulton was unable to keep its team together. This may be why some modern sources don't actually list a league champion for that season. In the officially league-sanctioned championship series, the Dyersburg Forked Deers, the first half winners, defeated the second half winners, the Mayfield Paintmakers, 4-2. Wikipedia mistakenly lists Mayfield as the champions for the season. The Parisians returned in 1924 with Dutch Quelmals leading the team. He came over from the defending champions, Dyersburg. They finished the first half in 4th place of the 6-team league with a 27-26 record. They ended the second half hosting the first place Jackson Blue Jays, who they trailed by half a game for a 3-game set. Before that series began, though, 3 wins by the Blue Jays were thrown out for using an ineligible player for their class. Paris went on to win the series and the second half title with a 33-22 record, a game and a half up on Jackson. But, just like the previous 2 seasons, there was controversy. On September 8th, Paris headed to Dyersburg to open the championship series, only to find that they had left for Jackson that morning to open the championship series against the Blue Jays, as Jackson claimed Paris had used ineligible players in 6 games, thus claiming the second half title for themselves. The following day, September 9th, League President Frank Bassett sent a telegram declaring that he found no evidence of Paris using ineligible players and officially declared them the second half champions. The Dyersburg Forked Deers would win their second straight league championship, sweeping Paris in 4. The Parisians' offense was nowhere to be found in the series, as they only scored 3 runs, being shut out in the second and third games. Outfielder Paul Kirby of the Parisians won the league batting title by hitting .341 in 112 games. The Kitty League would not return in 1925. It was a strain on the small communities that hosted teams, and no one showed any interest in returning in 1925. The league would eventually return in 1936. A new tri-state league would be organized in part of the footprint of the Kitty League, seeing Dyersburg and Jackson each hosting teams in the first season. The league returned in 1926, shutting down after that season. 6 future major leaguers played in Paris. They include Harry Rice in 1922. He would have a 10-year career with 5 different major league teams. Herb Welch in 1922 and 1923. He played 1 season for the Boston Red Sox in 1925. Ben Cantwell, who had an 11-season big league career with 4 National League teams, played there in 1923. As did Tom Jenkins, who spent 6 seasons playing for 3 American League teams. Jimmy Moore, who was from Paris, played there in 1923 before playing 2 seasons with the White Sox and Athletics, with whom he won the 1930 World Series. As well as the previously mentioned Jim Turner, who threw the no-hitter in 1923, returning to Paris in 1924. He had a 9-season career with 3 different teams and also served as the pitching coach for the Yankees and the Reds for 24 seasons. He won 8 World Series titles, 1 as a player with Cincinnati and 7 as a Yankees coach. Well, my fellow minor league nerds, that'll do it for this episode. Thank you for spending some time with me. Be sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel or the podcast platform of your choice to be notified whenever a new episode is uploaded. And until next time, stay safe, and remember to never stop supporting minor league baseball and never stop learning about minor league baseball history.
This podcast is part of the Curved Brim Media Network. Here are some of the other members of Curved Brim Media.
Hi, this is Ed Rivera of the Data Chronicles. Join me as I interview people just like you and players, coaches, GMs on the path that led you to become a fan of the sport.
I'm Paul Caputo, and on the Baseball by Design podcast, I talk to minor league baseball teams, designers, and other super interesting people about what these minor league baseball logos mean, and I talk a little bit about ice cream helmets.
What's up, Bucketheads? I'm Anna DiTomaso, and each week on the Baseball Bucket List podcast, I speak with a different fan about their favorite baseball memories, what the game means to them, and what's left to check off on their baseball bucket list.
Hey everyone, it's Eric from the great state of Kansas.
This is Johnny from the New Orleans Baby Cakes Memorial Museum.
And we are the Earn Fun Average podcast,
where we talk to a variety of guests about their love of baseball and have fun doing it.
America, lower your standards.
Average is what we do best.
This is Patrick
and Corey
of BaseballMapper.com, and we have made an interactive map to help highlight all baseball teams from the majors down to collegiate summer leagues.
We want to bring you closer to baseball, so get on the site and find a team near you today. Hey guys, this is Patrick Larson from the Minor League Baseball Hat History Series, and in every episode I go through the history of minor league teams through my personal collection of hats. You can find me on Twitter at PatLarson1. I hope you guys enjoy.
Learn more about Curve Brim Media at curvebremmedia.com.